Ruth's meeting with Boaz isn't just a story about love, it's a powerful example of how God uses our obedience, loyalty, and even small acts of kindness to unlock His favor and provision. Ruth wasn't just gleaning for food, she was positioning herself for divine blessing. And just like Ruth, you have the opportunity to step into God's abundant plan for your life. It's not by chance that she ended up in Boaz's field. It's a reminder that when you trust in God's timing and remain faithful, He will guide you to exactly where you need to be. Ready to discover the deeper lesson Ruth's story holds for you? Then, let's read the chapter together. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judah, together with his wife and 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife's name was Naomi, and the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem, Judah. And they went to Moab and lived there. Now Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. They married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her 2 sons and her husband. When Naomi heard in Moab that the Lord had come to the aid of His people by providing food for them, she and her daughters-in-law prepared to return home from there. With her 2 daughters-in-law she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness, as you have shown kindness to your dead husbands and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband." Then she kissed them goodbye, and they wept aloud and said to her, "We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons? Who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters. It is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has turned against me." At this they wept aloud again. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go I will go, and where you stay I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God my God. Where you die I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me." When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. So the 2 women went on until they came to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them, and the women exclaimed, "Can this be Naomi?" "Don't call me Naomi," she told them. "Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me. The Almighty has brought misfortune upon me." So Naomi returned from Moab accompanied by Ruth the Moabite, her daughter-in-law, arriving in Bethlehem as the barley harvest was beginning. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for His mercy. God, thank you so much for opening our eyes through this study. We're grateful for the wisdom you've shared with us today, and we ask that you help us take it into our everyday lives. Give us the strength to live with the same loyalty and obedience that Ruth showed, trusting you to lead us to the right places and people. Help us apply these lessons, not just in words, but in action, so we can experience your provision and favor. We trust you, God, and we know you'll guide us every step of the way. Amen. Now, the real question is, how will you respond to God's call in your life? Will you take that step of obedience, even when the path seems unclear, like Ruth did? The blessings that followed Ruth's simple act of faith didn't just happen by chance. They were the result of her loyalty, hard work, and trust in God's provision. What steps can you take today to align your life with God's plan for you? Are you positioning yourself for favor or waiting for it to find you? The truth is, God is ready to open doors for you, just as He did for Ruth, but it starts with your decision to trust and obey. If you want to experience that kind of divine provision and favor, it's time to act. Don't let opportunities slip by. Make the decision now to step into the field of God's blessing. And if you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the powerful insights we'll explore next. You don't want to miss out on the next chapter of your journey. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.